Grand Rising, beautiful people, and happy Sunday. Today I wanted to share a special message for all the beautiful mothers out there. Happy Mother's Day. And, normally I don't really talk a lot, as you can tell, if you pay attention to my channel, about my personal life when it comes to like family, for example. This is actually the first time that I'll probably be sharing a little testimony, quote unquote. Not really a real testimony, but for some reason, these past few weeks, I haven't been sleeping too well. And I think maybe it's because of the weather, the stress, all the things I've been going through emotionally, just dealing with different changes throughout my life. But I wanted to come on here this morning, since I can't sleep and I'm still awake, to express some things and get some things off my chest. First of all, in case you're wondering, I don't really have the closest relationship with my mother, and I never really said this publicly, but I figured why not, since, no one really gives a damn anyway. I haven't actually heard from my mother for like at least a month now, I would say. When I texted her the other day, I actually sent a group message to her and my father, and I sent a picture of my new sofa, as you can see that I'm sitting on. I love my sofa, by the way. Very comfy. I always fall asleep on it whenever I watch Tubi movies. Anyway, my father responded, and he was like, "Oh, what's a nice sofa, beautiful, da-da-da-da-da." But I noticed that she didn't respond. And I found that kind of odd, because normally she would respond and say something back. But even when I said hello the other day, she never responded to that message either. So I said, I don't know what I may have done. Maybe it's not me. Maybe it's something going on with her personal life that she's not sharing with me. Maybe she's going through some difficult challenges. I don't know, but I didn't do it. Like, when I say I literally have to laugh from crying sometimes, I literally have to laugh from crying. It's very hard to say Happy Mother's Day, especially when you're not close to your mother like me. And it's so sad when I think about it, because, it's bittersweet. I love my mother, love my family, but no one gives a damn. And the reason I say no one gives a damn is because nobody calls. I'm serious. Like, even my own siblings, I don't expect them to call me anyway, because I'm not as close to them either. People may say I'm the crazy one, but in the back of my mind, I'm not that crazy. I feel like it's just the fact that everybody is so unbothered and selfish with their own lives. I feel like I'm the forgotten one. I really do. And I'm just like, the least you could do, nigga, is pick up the phone and say hello. But you don't even do that. And it's really hard for me to smile and be happy, especially on Mother's Day, when we don't really communicate. We don't do mother-daughter brunches. We don't do tea parties, like all these fake-ass, happy-go-lucky, quote-unquote, big happy families that I see all the time on social media. It's all a lie. It's all smoke and mirrors. I'm going to tell you that right now. A lot of people don't realize when they see a lot of these mother-daughter, quote-unquote, brunches and tea parties and campaigns, what they don't know what goes on behind the scenes. A lot of the time, it's just marketing promos, advertising. People are on a hustle. People are trying to get the bag. People are trying to get money. and that's cool. Nothing wrong with it. But what my thing is, why can't people just be genuine? Send a heartfelt, deep message if you truly, are close to your loved ones, like your mother. Because what I'm so sick and tired of, I'm so sick and tired of the fake shit. I just had to come out and say it. I'm sorry. I'm sick and tired of the fake shit. If you cannot be real with me for 1 second, I can't fuck with you. I'm sorry. I just can't. And I think because I don't tolerate no bullshit, I think that's why nobody tolerates me. I honestly think that's why everyone said, fuck me, literally. And ever since I moved all the way out here to the East Coast, it's just nothing but silence. I'm at peace. I enjoy, my new life, my new place, but it's not the same, especially when nobody bothers to check on you and nobody really cares to see what's going on in your life. I could be reading this all wrong, but again, I've never spoken publicly about, my family members like that until now. Because I felt the need to just open up to you guys. I feel like at least YouTube listens to me. At least I have some followers that give a damn, that actually care to listen and share their feelings with me. Because I feel like now we're living in a bubble. We're in a space in this crazy world where everybody is so distracted. And if they're not distracted, I feel like a lot of people just genuinely don't give a damn unless it's about them. I honestly feel like that's what it is. And I could be wrong, but I feel like we are really in a messed up space to where people are just constantly glued in on, their phones. They're not doing stuff the old school way. Like whatever happened to families, especially Black families, coming together, to celebrate each other. We don't celebrate each other enough. I hate to say it. We really don't. I feel like, a lot of people, especially in the Black families, we only celebrate each other when motherfuckers pass away. I noticed that. People will drive miles to bury somebody that they probably barely said 2 or 3 words to, and come from all over the world, even hop on a plane or take a bus to go to somebody's funeral. But we don't celebrate each other while we're here living in present day earth. We really don't. It's a big cultural divide. When I think about it, I honestly think it's just a big cultural divide. I feel like when I look at the white people and even the Mexican people, the Hispanic culture, they come together and celebrate each other more than any damn thing. Unless, they have the same similar situation as me and they're not as close and they're super antisocial with half the world. But again, it's not my fault. I can't force relationships that were non-existent since the beginning that don't want to be forced. I can only do so much to bring people together. I don't beg people to celebrate me. I don't beg people to come together and actually, be one big happy family, quote unquote. All I can say is that at least I tried. At least I tried. I just feel like, we don't give a damn. We really don't. It's like we say we love each other. We'll pray for each other. We'll do this for each other. We'll, go to bat and do whatever and go above and beyond for each other. But then you don't hear from nobody. Nobody says anything. It's just very quiet. and correct me if I'm wrong. Feel free to comment and let me know what your thoughts are, because I really am feeling some type of way. I really am in my feelings, because it's just like, how do you expect me to keep a smile on my face again and say that, we celebrate each other, but we don't even talk to each other? We don't even come around each other. Hell, I don't even see the children, my nieces and nephews, unless it's a damn holiday. And even that shit's fake. I hate to say it. I'm sorry. I just don't do fake. See, one thing about us Scorpios, we don't fuck with fake shit. We're very loyal. When we smell something fake, we don't give a fuck about it. We'll just turn the other cheek and keep walking. We really won't. We're like Pisces. We will ignore you and cut you off and block you for like 6 months. And then if we feel like we can trust you again, then we'll unblock you just to see how you're doing, to say hello. But I'm not even like that. I don't even block people. That's the thing. It takes me a lot to even do all that. But anyway, the point is, why are we so busy not celebrating each other while we're in the living presence? We will, like I said, do everything in the book to celebrate people who are not living before we celebrate people who are living. And it's very sad and quite disturbing, in my opinion, because I'm just like, I understand we are all grown adults. We all have our own lives. We are all busy. We all have problems. But I feel like I should get some type of act right over here. I understand I'm a million miles away now. I'm about 1,100 miles to be exact, all the way over here in Virginia. And they're all the way down there in Texas. But at the end of the day, I'm not asking nobody to hop on a plane and come see me. All I'm saying is that the least you could do is communicate. But people don't want to communicate. And like I said, I don't force relationships that were non-existent and that don't want to be reckoned with, because that's not my problem. That's a them problem, not a me problem. And I even had this conversation with one of my closest homegirls that lives over here. And she called me crazy, of course. But I was just like, look, call me crazy, but am I wrong and am I right? And she was like, well, yeah, you do have a point. They don't communicate with you, so I don't know. And I said, I don't know if it's just, a homophobic thing or what, but I'm pretty sure y'all are well aware, newsflash, as many times as I mentioned it on my channel, I'm part of the Rainbow Crew. I don't know if that has something to do with it, because I will admit, a lot of Black families are not very supportive of the Rainbow Crew, especially my family. Very homophobic, very anti-gay. And another thing before I go, why can't we all just get along? Why? I never understood the logic between, talking to people through various messages on social media, like, for example, Facebook Messenger. The one message I got from my own blood sister was, hey sis, are you okay? When I had the stalker issue. That was like 2 months ago, by the way, when the whole stalker shit was happening in March. And I'm just like, bitch, you have my phone number. Why are you sending me a message on Facebook Messenger? I'm barely on here. I don't even fuck with Facebook half the time. And if I do post something, it's silly shit from Instagram that's shared to my Facebook page. I'm never really on Facebook. I hope y'all know that. My bread and butter is Instagram and TikTok. And sometimes YouTube. But I'm just like, why message somebody again when you have my phone number? Like, that's a prime example of horrible communication. You can message somebody through Messenger, but you can't pick up the phone. but you have my number. But yeah, I don't know. I just know that all I can do is pray for them. I can wish them well. You know, I've been keeping the peace and, staying in silence, minding my business, trying to focus on myself. But at the same time, it's like, damn, don't y'all miss me? I mean, I miss y'all. But y'all act like I don't even fucking exist now that I moved away. I mean, even when I lived in Texas, y'all acted like I didn't fucking exist when I was only 4 hours away. Now that I'm a million miles away, it's just like, well, shit. I don't know. I just feel like it's a thing because maybe, niggas is mad because I didn't say, when I planned on leaving and when I planned my escape, to the East Coast. And when I decided to start my life over, I don't know. Maybe people got a little salty. That's how I feel. I feel like people are genuinely salty and are not really happy for you. I really do. And I think it's just, a matter of the mindset. You can't change people. You can't change people's minds. I'm going to tell you that right now. As, persuasive as you think you are, if you think you're a salesman, you can't sell somebody else's mind and change it. I'm going to tell you that right now. Because it's like a force to be reckoned with. I'm serious. Like, you're going to drive yourself crazy trying to change somebody. And as stubborn and hard-headed as, some of my family members are, like my sister, for example, I can't change her. If she wants to beatbox and be ignorant and eat hot chips and fried chicken, even though she's damn near diabetic, I can't fucking change her. As many times as I preached and tried to coach her with different recipes and shit, I can't change her. She has to change herself. Prime example, But I don't know. I just feel some type of way. I just feel like y'all could have done better. Y'all really could have done better. And, it's just left me speechless because I was thinking about this as I was sitting here on my nice couch all morning, not being able to go back to sleep. I don't know why. I think it's because I slept most of the day yesterday and I kind of woke up a little bit late. I woke up like around 3 o'clock. Well, I woke up around 1:30 because my homeboy called me. But I don't know. I just feel like, why can't we just communicate? That's all I want to know. That's the biggest answer I need to know. Why can't we all communicate as Black people in a decent manner and not having a Facebook people or group message somebody? And the only time I do receive a group message, like I said, is during the holidays. And I'll be lucky if I hear from somebody on my birthday, which is like 10 months from now. But I'll be lucky if I do hear from somebody. And if I do, it's most likely a text message, a Facebook message of some sort. But it's not about me. The point is, I know I'm going off on a tangent. Forgive me. I just completely went all the way to the left from this. The point is, communicate with your loved ones. If you haven't already, if you haven't made peace, and I understand not a lot of people want to make peace with dysfunctional families, because there are a lot of Black families that are very dysfunctional, like mine, for example. Try to communicate while they're here, while they're still living in presence. Try to communicate, because you never know when it's their time. I stress this, and I tell people to really appreciate people while they're here and not while they're gone, because it sickens me and it really saddens me when I see Black folks doing the most, falling out and shit, when it comes to funerals and memorial services and stuff. But while they're here, while they're living, they're not celebrated enough. But yeah, that's all I had to say. I think I said my piece and spoke and got everything off my chest that I wanted to really express. But y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments. If y'all have a similar situation where you're not the closest to your own mother, or you don't have a very close relationship with a loved one who is like a mother figure, drop a comment below and let me know. I'm curious. I want to know if people really think I'm crazy or if it's just the family. I really need to know because it's really got my brain spinning. Like, it's just like, damn, is it really me or is it really them? That's all I need to know. But yeah, I'll holler at y'all later. Y'all have a good one. Y'all enjoy the rest of y'all's Mother's Day weekend. Have all the brunches, have all the mimosas, all the tea parties and day parties and whatever else y'all like to do on Mother's Day weekend. Well, I will sit here and probably do some meditation and some reading and try to go back to sleep. But my brain is not shutting off. My brain is spinning. But anywho, y'all take care now. Bye.